Hey, this is GNT, Geek Nerd Tech. Today, Apple has some incredible announcements. Instagram is moving upwards in the world, and Ocean's 8 is coming to take the charts down. Let's talk about it.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live's Geek Nerd Tech.
Hey. That Night Wonder, Black Thought.
Welcome to Black Hollywood Live. This is Geek Nerd Tech, also known as GNT. I am Achilles Shine, your host. Sitting beside me is my co-host, Joe Braswell.
What's happening?
And like you said, man, that Black Thought is flaming.
Flaming. It just makes me feel proud to be an old man. It's good to know that there's still hip hop for me out there.
Man, for real though.
That's not like
in the sea of nothingness.
the sea of fucking Xanax rap.
Thank you. Did you catch him on it was a while back though, on Funk Flex, when he was just freestyling for like 10 minutes?
Yeah. There was who I think it was Jimmy Fallon did it. Like printed out his, you see that when they printed out his entire freestyle, it like rolled all the way through. Yeah, he is. I've always. I mean, I'm not breaking any news here, but I thought like Tariq Black Thought is just
Brother Tariq.
it's crazy underrated. I feel like he's been underrated.
I don't think he's underrated.
Oh, yeah,
if you ask,
you're like he's underrated. But like,
I don't think so. If you ask most, well, I don't know about that. I was gonna say if you ask most cats in our age demographic, top 10, he's in the top 10 MCs without question. He's probably a close top 5.
I was gonna say he might be in my top 5.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I mean. I feel like
We'll run it real quick. Top 5, go.
Oh God.
Go.
Oh no.
Let's see if he's in there.
I mean, right now it's I don't know, Jay-Z, still Rakim, M's in there, has to be. I mean, you know, I still love KRS, but he's probably not in the top 10 anymore. You know, lyricists like that.
You only got 4. God. One more slot.
Yeah, it's a tough slot.
My man has not even mentioned Nas or Biggie, but okay.
Yeah,
wow.
that's a tough one. Nas and Biggie,
they're on your top 5.
Yeah, they gotta be in there. That's a tough one. It's like a 1, 2, 3 is easy, and then it's like 5 people are fighting for those last 3 spots.
I got you.
Anyway,
well,
it's hard. It's tough.
I'll tell you what we're going to discuss today is top 5 of the WWDC 2018 and what Apple just announced. They have some really hot stuff coming to market. They do. Yeah, let's just have a cool conversation about it, man. So I don't know if you got a chance to watch it, but
I didn't watch this one because it's like I don't really watch the developer joints.
Right.
They're not as sexy.
Is it a snooze fest for you?
It's not a snooze fest, but I'm not really checking for it like that.
Gotcha.
You know? But I said, you know, I see what's happening, but I'm not checking for it. Like I got to stop everything to watch it.
Right.
But go ahead.
So yeah, I'm gonna tee you up really quickly. So the first thing is that it's the 10th year anniversary for the Apple Store.
Yes,
that's pretty phenomenal.
I did see that. Yeah, 10 years Apple Store. That's a lot of. Did they give any a dollar amount?
Yeah. So the cumulative earnings, which I hate when companies do this to make it sound so sexy, is $100 billion of what developers have in terms of their apps, what they have accumulated over the course of the 10 years. And so I think that's a pretty amazing number.
10 Bs a year.
Pretty much.
And then whatever Apple's percentage off of all this.
Exactly.
It's like Apple probably makes, I don't know, what do they make? Is it like high, like 40%, or is it like 25? I wonder what they make.
I don't know. I don't know that.
Whatever it is, it's a lot.
Yeah. Caking up.
To let people develop stuff on your platform.
Right.
And just give me the money for the honor of being on my platform.
Exactly. So they're saying they have about 20 million developers around the world, and obviously that has grown over this last decade and will continue to evolve and grow. But I think that's a phenomenal thing. The next thing is the new operating system, 12. 12. Are you excited about it?
Yeah, I'm always excited. We're in this weird tipping point now with these OSs that I really felt like the last one. It's like every third OS is a leap and an improvement.
Every third,
and the rest are kind of like they just throwing shit out there just to say they did something.
Right.
You know, we have a new font or something. Right. It's always kind of like. So, but this one I'm hoping actually has some, you know, I like the iWatch stuff they're coming with.
Right.
But I don't know, what is some highlights in the...
Well, yeah, some of the highlights. So obviously in the last launch of the iPhone, you had the AR, right? The augmented reality. And so what they're saying now, they're really going to like put a lot of their investing energy into that. And so obviously that's the future. It's a transformational technology. And so they want to be able to give developers more, I guess, way or lead way for developing those type of apps for consumers. And so you're dealing with stuff like 3D object section where you could take a picture of something, actually measure what that object is. I think that's pretty fascinating.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
They do have that app already. There's an AR third-party app where you can like measure the room, so
right.
it's moving.
But now you can do objects.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's interesting. So like you do like, your computer.
Exactly. It's these dimensions.
4 by 4.
Right.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a game changer. I think that could really. You talk about 3D printing. You talk about we're in the era of makers and designers being able to have literally on your phone take a snapshot of something and be able to know the dimensions of what that is, and then replicate it or duplicate it.
For sure. I guess it depends on how fast that works. If it literally is like scans and gives you dimension, that's one thing. But if you got to do like the other stuff, which is like
all that,
do all that, and what's the point? That's we'll see. I don't know.
So one of your favorites, Siri, is getting an upgrade. Oh, do you feel like this is going to land with the customer? So really quickly, they're developing what's called a shortcut. So depending on the app, like we'll use Starbucks as an example. You could just literally say, "Hey Siri, I want to order my favorite at Starbucks," and instead of going into the Starbucks app and typing it in or there's no button pressing. You just say it to Siri and she shortcuts it, and your Starbucks is ready to be picked up. Okay. So essentially, these shortcuts will be applied to a diverse amount of apps where you'll be able to do stuff much quicker. So the workflow is quicker. You think that's cool?
I do. I still am having a hard time trusting Siri, but which I should, because the text recognition, voice recognition is way better. I do it all the time on my watch, and it's pretty good. It's like the more it's got to know me, it's pretty good. Like I text my watch all the time, and it gets everything right. So I guess I should in all earnestness give Siri another shot.
Hey,
because I've been off Siri for like 5 years.
Man,
so
you and everybody else.
But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give her one last shot. I'm waiting for them to get the bugs and the kinks worked out. So we'll see, man. I don't know, but yeah, the idea of being like, give me the usual, whatever, or what taco I like, whatever. How you get say. So I like the idea of that.
Dope. Another advancement with the apps is the car kit expansion. So you'll be able to support third-party apps for navigation, which I think is cool because currently you're kind of locked into the same
Apple
eight apps or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's cool.
I have to say, the CarPlay is kind of garbage.
In a way, it is.
It's great. It's like the thing we're so happy to have the interface. They're so happy to have that Apple screen on your screen and touch the buttons and do all that stuff. But it's really the whole text thing is not quite right. There's no privacy function. You ride with somebody, you get some effed up text. Like everyone's like, "Oh, really? Is that what you're doing?" It's like or the map says you can't Waze, you can't Google. So hopefully, yeah. So I'm glad that Apple and it's only like I said, it's only 8 things in the screen.
Exactly.
I guess it's designed to keep you less distracted, but hopefully they can improve on this.
For sure. One thing that I think is also dope that they are introducing is called the quality of life or time well spent. Yeah. Where
this is the big Silicon. This is across all of Silicon Valley. Everybody's trying to do this whole thing.
Exactly. So you have a notification and it just makes it less cumbersome to deal with, so less noisy. You're able to put it in the background. Also, if you have kids and they're on iPad or iPhone, you can monitor their usage and set allowances. There's all sorts of things you could do, even by specific app or even category. And I think that's cool because our dependency on these devices are already through the roof, and being able to kind of curtail that, I think is a good thing.
I think it's a good thing too. I don't know what's worse. I guess we're going to get to the point where we do get more and more voice activated, more and more audio cues, more and more, having those conversations from across the room, because having conversations with people are like, hold up, I'm just trying to fix my thing on the, all right, go.
Right.
So yeah, that makes sense. However, it just opens the door for more. Exactly. For more of the computer the less you have control of it, the more it has control over you, even though your hands free. Yeah. But it knows all your business.
That's right.
So
2 huge things. The Memoji. Are you excited about that? So you can send me an emoji of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Emoji, more like Enoji.
Really?
Am I right, Marissa?
You're off this.
No.
Okay, I bet you $1 million. Both of y'all will be using it. $1 million.
I just that was the one
I've
thing
never
that
used Bitmoji, and I don't plan on using this one.
I didn't think I'd be using Bitmoji. I do use it, but I really don't see the weird, like me making the monkey face or me making the little.
What?
Well, I mean, look, my guy.
Okay.
I'm just whatever like that or whatever the faces they be doing. Like I'm not.
No.
Oh, I don't know the one that's or your actual.
Your
self.
actual
Yeah, I
face.
saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's your actual face. I'm
Yeah.
still not doing that either. I saw that one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is the thing that I think is a game changer, and that's the FaceTime with up to 32 participants simultaneously. That is freaking
Now
fantastic.
we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. I mean you were able to, what was the app? There's a few apps that were able to do that early on. Oh, Google, the Google Play or whatever it was. It's called Google Plus.
Google Hangouts.
Google Hangouts. That shit was great.
Yeah.
It was crystal clear, and your mobile. It was through the cellular. So it's about time that Apple caught up with that.
Yeah.
I just feel like the FaceTime situation is really. I think FaceTime in general is struggling behind WhatsApp, and I feel like WhatsApp now is really, internationally and all their crystal clear audio, crystal clear video, international texting. So all these guys are kind of running to catch WhatsApp.
Yeah.
But so we'll see how it goes.
That's what's up. And like you alluded to a little earlier, you said that the Apple Watch has gotten a major upgrade with the operating system number 5. And so briefly what you could do with that is you can challenge friends to fitness competitions, which I think is pretty cool.
That's one thing with the Apple Watch. Like for all their fitness stuff you got.
Right. Like I want to battle.
Yeah,
right?
you can't be like that in the Fitbit. I was with all my friends on Fitbit.
Exactly.
We do challenges,
Yep.
and now you can't do that. But now finally, that's what you can do.
Like almost half a decade later.
I mean,
like
they're catching up.
Exactly. Hey, again, Siri now has more shortcuts that you can use on the watch. You don't have to say, "Hey Siri" anymore. You can just raise your watch to your face, and it automatically starts listening for the cues.
Yep. That's way better.
Way better. And then, again, the notifications, the quality of life thing will also be applied to the watch, which I think is cool.
The walkie-talkie joint. It sounds
walkie-talkie.
goofy, but it's goofy as hell. But I love the idea of that. Like me and my boy Ray, he's in the Bay Area. It's just something about that. Like it's that like little 12-year-old boy, and you're like,
Right.
Yeah, what you doing?
Breaker.
I'm over.
Right.
Yeah, I'm about to go to the store. Over.
Exactly.
All right, see you tomorrow. Over.
I think that's a gimmick, though. I think we'll be over it. I think we'll be over pretty soon.
It reminds me of the old like Nextel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, beep, 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 beep. Yeah,
The chirp.
that was fresh.
It was fresh back in the day, for sure. Apple TV, the upgrades there are pretty minimal.
Yeah.
It's adding Dolby Atmos. Wow, great, awesome. But however, the thing that is cool, I don't know if you mess with this on your end. I don't know if you have the new Apple TV.
I do. Well, I have the 4K one. I know how new that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're able to, connect with use your Apple TV and your phone as a primary viewing device. And you can connect it with your cable subscription. So if you have like a Charter or Time Warner, which used to be Time Warner, you're able to essentially have everything streamlined with all your apps and all your cable subscription, all of it in one place, which I think is pretty cool.
So you can do that. Have all that
through the phone
and then stream it to your TV.
Exactly.
But you can't have it on your Apple TV automatically. It has to be on your phone.
Correct.
So basically, your phone's your walking cable box.
Pretty much.
Which is, So, but what does that mean if like I'm gone and like someone's at the crib and they want to watch TV?
I mean, they just have to use the cable remote or the
Right. Well, I'm just saying,
Apple TV
but
remote.
do I have all the app they can't stream because I'm gone? That's the
I
bug.
haven't used it yet, so I don't really know exactly what the workflow is. But I do know that you're able to essentially have it, housed in one place.
All right.
So,
All right. Okay.
But yeah, that's about it. Those are the major.
Those are good
The
ones.
major stings.
Those are good ones.
That I think people are really, really excited about. There are some photo enhancements in terms of what you can do with if you take a picture with your iPhone, it'll immediately go onto your computer. But I mean, I don't really know if that's like a game changer idea.
Yeah.
But the stock app is being updated, and the news app is also being updated, and that's about it, really.
Yeah, I've never once used the stock app, but I mean, I should, but like.
But are you trading? Are you like really doing stuff like that? So I mean, it's almost pointless.
No, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Now,
Not doing that.
I'm glad that our colleague Lola pulled this story because I'm about to smash you.
Uh-oh, here we
Bro.
go. Here we go.
You were so excited about the Apple Watch that was in gold, the $10,000 one. You're like, yo, this is tight. This is dope. They've just said that it's basically useless now. That they're not, the generation 1, they're not going to do any type of servicing for it, no upgrades. The operating system 5 doesn't work on it. So if you pay for this joint $10K for the Apple Watch, shit out of luck. How does that work?
That's terrible.
Apple has to do something for the customers that
the
make
idea
that
is
investment.
that you made an investment like you invest in a timepiece. This is a timepiece you'll pass down to your kids.
And that's all the stuff that you were saying.
except for the fact you can't use it anymore.
Man, exactly.
Come on,
it's
Apple.
useless. It's useless.
They've got to do something backwards compatibility. I mean, but I guess they can't. I mean, it's a weird slippery slope, right? You can't. They want to sell more watches, so they can't make watches backwards compatible because they want to sell new watches. So, I mean, I was just having a conversation with our boy Ray on the way over here because he got the Apple Watch. I'm like, well, second quarter in 2019, they're going to have a camera on the joint, and we'll be looking around like, shit, we're going to buy a new watch in 2019? I mean, maybe, but I don't, So, the thing about this, the idea of, buying new phones is one thing, but like killing your Apple Watch,
but I think it's just a mind shift. It's a mindset shift because it's like, what's the difference between buying a phone every year or every other year versus doing a watch? What's the difference?
And really, we're talking about the bands.
Exactly.
I mean, we're talking about the face because the band, keep your band, keep whatever it is. It's just the same thing as same thing as that.
And plus, I mean,
how many iPhones have I just given away or in the drawer?
Exactly. And the new Apple Watch, you don't even need an iPhone, so it's like, it becomes your phone.
Yep.
So. One thing that I think is really fascinating that Apple has been developing is with the Apple AirPods. They have this thing called Live Listen, and it's a feature that gives someone like with I guess a hearing impairment. It gives them like a boost,
right?
And so they're able to like literally hear things that are farther away or hear different frequencies. And so I think that's freaking cool. Like it's not a solution to or a substitute for a hearing aid, but it does help someone that might have some damage or some.
It also helps you on your eavesdrop game. You're sitting there at the coffee shop like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Espionage.
Yeah, exactly. It's like two of my. I mean, I don't go for something, but I'll do it anyway. Two of my favorite movies are like that, and I don't think they have the equivalent now because the technology is such. But 1971, there was The Conversation with Gene Hackman, which is an excellent movie, and it was about a surveillance guy, and all he did was go around in San Francisco, and he was this high state-of-the-art surveillance tech with this giant briefcase with real tapes in there, and it was really dope, and it was a really good movie. Man, Gene Hackman was doing it. And then the other one I loved was 1979, 80. There he is. Look at that. Get it, Marissa. There he is. High tech. Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman was like 35 right there, by the way. It was, and then the other one was Blowout John Travolta. Woo. The other one where that was a Brian De Palma movie, and he was, I think this is for Francis Ford Coppola. That was Brian De Palma, and he was a special effects guy who was out recording sounds one night for a horror movie. There he goes. Get it, Johnny. And recording sounds for a horror movie, and he hears a murder happen. And he has to try to figure out the whole thing. I love both these movies. So the whole point is, with my new iPod, I can go out there and be Gene Hackman and John Travolta.
Oh, stop it, bro.
That's way off track, but yeah.
Did you just say iPod?
Whatever. earpods. Yeah. Is Travolta like casting a spell right there? Is he? He's got a magic wand. Is this Harry Potter? What's he doing? Anyway.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
That's his high-tech microphone. Man. Anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, I think it's fascinating. I love when companies are able to harness technology like that for a very useful, purposeful way. And so, I mean, I think that is going to be helpful for a lot of people that do have maybe a slight disability or, and yeah, like you said, it might even assist in some type of workflow. Like if you're in a noisy environment and you want to be able to hear the conversation, like it's going to help boost those frequencies in your head.
I love it. I'm all in on it. I'm actually probably going to, I just wish they could do the colors.
Oh, like have, instead of white?
Yeah.
Have like blue, red, whatever?
Blue, red, black. That's the only things I have my bows.
That seems like an easy thing, though. They'll probably have that.
I know. That's got to be on one of the rollouts.
Exactly.
Because it's just, I love those. I love them, but I feel like my bows are a little louder than those. But I don't know. I feel like those, they're so goofy looking.
Hey man, I see a lot of people with them now.
I know. It's,
Like
well,
that.
Steve has them, but I know it's goofy because mine maybe look like Shrek. I got mine like this, and then if you look at one side, it's like one of those brothers with a Bluetooth. And you're like, yeah, bro, like Bluetooth. Then I'm like, nah, I got two. I'm like, oh, that's better.
Right.
So I don't know, you know. So now I don't know. My Bose ones which I thought were so fresh, I'm starting to not like them. So I might switch over to the Apples.
Hey, okay.
But anyway.
Well, hey, Instagram is making some moves, and they are coming for their major rival. Obviously, one of the rivals is YouTube.
Right.
And so what they are planning on doing is expanding your ability to stream content and also upload content. Right now, the buffer is 60 seconds for your Instagram feed.
That's right.
And 15 seconds in stories. They are proposing an hour, my man.
Ugh.
An hour worth of time that you can be able to promote your videos. And so obviously this is like an ad play, and they're trying to compete against YouTube. And you got to think that on most of the social media platforms, Instagram is the biggest platform for influencers. And to be able to have that bandwidth now to be able to do whatever, commercial, documentary, like
They're
short
kind of
form
doing it
content
now with Instagram Live, because you can save those Instagram Live
Right,
stories. But it's still chopped up.
Exactly.
It's all chopped up. You keep swiping. I mean, yeah, I don't know this. Back to the quality of life and sitting in front of your phone situation. I just for when Snapchat first came out, I found myself, I've never posted, so I just found myself like sitting on my phone and just, watching all these people that, doing their Snapchat things. And I just felt creepy. I'm like, I'm just sitting here watching all these girls like do whatever on Snapchat. I feel like a creeper. So I stopped doing it. Then at Instagram stories, I'm literally in Instagram stories for like a half hour at a time, just swiping, just watching. It's like a show.
Yeah.
And so the idea of having people, all people I follow, which is like, hundreds of people, have the opportunity to do like 10, 15-minute movies, there's no time.
Well, it just makes your investment in that more. It just makes your investment more smarter. Like, where am I going to give my time to, and like, who am I following that deserves my time?
I mean, I guess we're going to see a spike in people sort of doing creative things. With
that's what I'm looking for,
which is cool. But there'll also be a lot of like
nothingness.
I'm going to give you the whole ride of the Pirates of the Caribbean,
Right.
Disneyland,
Right.
and it's going to be a lot of that. So I don't know.
Hey, but I mean, I feel like they have to make some type of leap forward, especially with YouTube.
Delivery service for ads, man. I got to figure out how to get more ads. Figure out how to
and
get
also
more advertisers to your phone.
and to harness the younger generation, because
Yeah.
YouTube is ahead out of all the platforms.
Way ahead.
Especially amongst teenagers. YouTube is killing it. They're 85%. Then Instagram is 72%. Snapchat is 69%.
Wow.
Facebook is 51%. Twitter 32%. Tumblr 9%. And so Instagram, Facebook is obviously trying to be number one.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens.
All right, that's interesting. Wait, what do you think? What do you think about the whole longer? I mean, you like the idea of it?
I mean, I feel like we started at 15 seconds.
Yep.
And that was like
That's about
kind of limiting, but it harnessed a different way of creating. Like, hey, you have to create commercials essentially of whatever it is, whatever the story is. If it's a product, if it's an experience, it's like a commercial. And then that 60-second window was like, okay, cool. We have way more time to play with.
Right.
And it's more like a sizzle. Now I feel like, yeah, you're giving us all the freedom to create whatever we want.
Right.
Like, that's dope to me. I mean, from a creative perspective, like, if that's my number one platform, or that's where my audience is, and I don't have any restrictions, like, I'm good to go. Yeah. I don't have to post it on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I said, my platform of choice is Instagram. Like, I'm gonna connect with my followers. Yeah.
In case you want some, that's why I don't have my stock in there, because I'm sitting on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shares of my Periscope stock, bro. If you want to get some of that Meerkat stock, I got for you.
That's worth pennies.
But yeah, good for them.
Man, interesting story here, man. The first 3D concrete printing housing project is going down in the Netherlands, man. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Over the next 5 years, they're going to start building these homes, and they're going to start as a single floor house, and then the other homes are going to be multi-storied houses. And literally, it's a concrete printed home made out of it's a concrete printed home made with a 3D printer, and like, it's going to have the same type of like comfort, layout, quality, and pricing that most homes in the area of Netherlands are going to have. Yep. The only thing it will not have is natural gas. So it might be solar powered. But I think that's crazy that they're able to do this and use this as a case study to be able to do this, you know, in a more expansive way. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's great. I don't understand the 3D printing of large spaces. I understand. I don't understand the, you know.
Closer to the mic.
Oh, thank you. I don't understand the idea of. So I don't know if I'm taking these raw materials and then printing them into a concrete structure. Am I? How can I say this? Is it more efficient and more eco-friendly than pouring the concrete and doing all the rest of the stuff yourself? I don't know. What's the difference? Is it just efficiency? Is it just design? Like you can do cool stuff like that weird pillar?
I think it's all of the above. I think it's eco-friendly. I think it's less taxation on everything, on labor. Like you're able to do it quickly.
For sure, there's some design things you'll be able to do. Like that's already fresh. Whatever's going on there. Like, you know, just included some design things you'll be able to do.
I mean, I feel this is a cure to end homelessness. Like if you could 3D print a home in a few hours or a day, let's say a day, like, and it cost like 75% less than what it costs to build it with the team. Like, man, there should be no reason why people sleep on the street.
Yeah, true.
And I feel like that's where it's going to go. Like, and like in terms of it, I mean, the material doesn't have to be concrete. It could be anything.
Right.
You know.
Right. Are you for? And that's like the giant. Is that like the large 3D printing situation? It'd be like a giant rig like that.
Exactly.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
That's wild stuff. Okay. Well, I'm all for it. Love it.
Yes, sir.
Sounds great.
Another thing that I'm all for, my man, I think this is a pretty cool story, is the new Amazon Grand Challenge. And that is a secret lab, very similar to what Google was doing with their Google X when they started developing your favorite, Google Glass.
Yep.
And so Amazon has its own secret division, and it's called, like I said, Grand Challenge. And they're also saying it's called Amazon X, which I think is pretty corny. Internally, they're calling it 1492 after Christopher Columbus.
Sailed the ocean blue.
Exactly.
It's your boy, C. Columbus.
Their focus, though, is in the medical industry. They want to find a cure for cancer.
Yeah. I mean, and that's exactly where these tech companies should be spending their money in pushing towards. I mean, there's enough money and there's enough experimental things, and we're so close. It's just a matter of throwing money at it. Who has more money than Amazon or Microsoft? So
exactly.
I'm all for this. I mean,
super all for this.
I do feel like we're gonna be able to find a cure for cancer in our lifetime, and I feel like these guys are the guys to do it. I don't know. What do you think?
Let me ask, I was going to ask you to follow up on that statement. Like, what do you feel about a company as large as Amazon finding a cure for cancer? We found the cure. Like, how does that work in terms of like how that's distributed or how they profit off that? Because like, hey, we own the cure.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I mean, I guess it's a ethical thing, and like we talk about this all the time with what just happened with the company. I can't remember the name of the company, but obviously my man who jacked up the price of the EpiPen and jacked up the price of that one cancer drug like 3,000%.
Is that the guy that bought the Wu-Tang?
Same
Master?
dude, yeah. But he's not even the one. It's like it's his parent company, and his parent company are really the bad guys. He's just a weird guy who's getting rich, who's an asshole. But it's his bosses who are now also going down, or the real people. So pharmaceutical companies are already doing this. It's really about the whole pharmaceutical industry. It's just really all that goes back to larger things about government healthcare and deprivatizing this stuff, because privatizing your health and well-being, you're going to have people going to make profit off of it. So if there's a law like, hey, sell that to the government, make a bunch of money, and then let us administer, let's cure cancer,
Man.
But either way, they're gonna make money off of it.
Yeah, either
way they're gonna, whether they sell it to the government, whether they sell it to pharmaceutical, whether they keep it themselves,
right,
and make it super low cost,
right.
There's money to be made. So
hey, well, I think it's phenomenal. Like you said, I love when companies say, we're going to lead in this area. We're going to take, and put this on our shoulders, and we're going to make this happen. We're going to use our infrastructure and resources and our brain trust to be able to solve some of humankind's, worst problems and ills. And so, hey, being able to say we were the company that found the cure for cancer, I think is a huge thing, which could only like bring more awareness and excellence to that company and whatever else it's doing.
Right.
That's why I'm like, man, that would really make that company like crazy huge.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, and again, the Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google race to figure out who's going to be the dominant of those four.
Man,
who knows? It's going to be something like this, something outside of ads, outside of telecom, outside of storage, and maybe something like this.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, there's this company named Axon. It was formerly known as Taser, and this company essentially sells
it's your TV show. It's your thing. Go ahead.
APB.
Yeah.
It sells tasers and body cameras for police officers. And so what they're doing now is they're partnering with a company called DJI, which is a huge drone company. And so they want to be able to sell drones to policing agencies so they can be able to supply them with, I guess, resources for like search and rescue. And all that stuff. And so my question to you is, do you think that's number one, do you think that's a great business move? And two, do you think that that's going to help or hurt?
I think it's a good business move for the company. I think that it helps initially, but it opens the door for a lot more problems. I think that I always have an eyebrow up when you talk about the private companies selling to the privatization of stuff, especially stuff that can be militarized.
Right.
So and of course it's all like it's search and rescue. No. You wouldn't win. It's only a matter of time before you put 2 machine guns on that mug and you are hunting brothers down like in the alley. That's that's another thing. And the cameras, there will be facial recognition software, but talk about profiling, like the dude back at the station is like, there he goes, get him. Exactly. Is that him? Nah, damn.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. And there's no accountability because it's a drone. There's this less. So, that's what's next. What's next is the facial recognition, the more profiling, the lack of privacy, the lack of oversight, the ability to be able to be like, hey man, I'm not racist. Did you think the drone's racist? So that's stuff I worry about. But other than that, sure.
I mean, yeah, it's
great.
Definitely like the Fox show APB.
Yeah.
That show is about a billionaire who essentially buys a police agency, and he introduces all these new technologies, and kind of like says a lot of the old way of doing things, it just doesn't work. And so he uses like technology of drones. He uses all sorts of AR technologies, and I mean it's an interesting concept, but I definitely agree that this is we are in this time. Like I feel harnessing the technology can be utilized for good. Like we talked about, like during hurricanes or natural disasters, being able to throw up a drone and find people.
Right.
I think it's perfect. But on the flip side is like an abuse of power as well. It could be used as a way to manipulate, in a way to kind of just be really intrusive to people's livelihood. And
Absolutely.
So, I mean, this next article, just following up with that, they're saying that they're able to use an AI that will kind of like look in crowds at like festivals and stuff and see if people are violent, or if they're punching, if they're stabbing, or if they're having a fight, and they'll be able to like locate them, pinpoint them.
Yep. And then what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it was you. It was you that threw that punch.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you ever seen me at a festival, but I've been wilding out.
I've seen you.
So if I'm wilding out at the festival,
it's not a punch. It's not a punch.
Like, there he goes. Get him. Like 4 drones like land on me.
Oh my gosh.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
That's so ridiculous.
What is the AI? Yeah, I don't know. My moves, the AI might not be able to catch my moves.
Oh my gosh.
I might be doing some, so anyway, you never know. I don't know. I don't love this, but I get it.
Yeah, I get it too. All right, well, let's move on. Are you a fan of the new movie Ocean's 8? Is it going to be a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I think it's gonna be a thumbs up. I'm excited about it, but I have like middling expectations. So
really,
so I feel like it could easily plus my expectations. I mean, I love all these women. I love the fact that you got Sandra Bullock's over 50, Blanchett's close to it, and then you got Rihanna, you got Aquafina, so Sarah Paulson, she's like my age or close to 50. So I like the fact you got some women. I like the fact that they're all not young ingenues, and you got some young people in there. It's diverse in age and race and everything else. It's exciting. I like the idea that it's connected. Like she's playing Danny Ocean's sister, so maybe there'll be a little George Clooney cameo in there. Maybe opens a door for a collaboration. Ocean's 8 plus 11.
Ocean's
19. Took me a while to do that math. And then, yeah, man, I love all of it, but I'm also just a huge sucker for a heist movie.
Yeah, me too.
And so I love a good heist movie. I love a good con movie. Yep. This is a good con. It's a good heist. So sure, I'm ready to have fun. My expectations are low. You know, Riri's in it. I don't know. I'm in there.
Yeah, I love heist movies. I love the whole Ocean's 11 franchise. I love the fact that this is one with the ladies.
Yep.
I love the fact that they're going with the whole fashion element with the Met Gala, trying to break in and get the jewelry there. I feel like it's gonna be fun. Like I love how it's casted, and like you said, it could potentially set it up for a collaboration, bringing back everybody, which would be pretty crazy.
And maybe I'm sure there'll be some sequels to this, and it's fine. I wonder if they'll do the same way Ocean's 9, 10, 11, or they'll just do, who knows. They keep adding people, whatever. Right. And the other thing is, Sandra looks like still bad to me.
Yes.
And she's bad. She's a bad one. And then the last thing I'll say is, I forgot. Heist. Sandra Bullock's hot. I'm excited. That's it. Oh. It's got James Corden in it. I like him. The only thing that I'm concerned about from a plot standpoint, and I'm just gonna make a prediction. I hope I'm not ruining anything. It just feels like Anne Hathaway is gonna be in on the. If the whole con is that the Anne Hathaway was in on it the whole time, which it sort of feels like it already is. And I'm like, if that's the twist, because these heist movies and con movies are twisty.
I hope it's not that basic.
It's like. Did we fool them? They all drive off together. Like that's gonna be whack.
I hope it's not that basic.
I hope it's
because we could clearly see through that.
Yeah, so please do not let Anne Hathaway be in on the group. And if she is, make it twistier than just that.
Right. It should be like someone like Oprah that comes out or something.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like she's in it, but I don't want her to be. They're stealing it from her.
Right.
So hopefully she's not in on it.
Right.
Anyway, what else?
All right. Well, so we have two more stories to knock down. Obviously, both you and I were fans of Suicide Squad when it dropped, and so Jared Leto is getting his own movie as Joker. Finally. That is going to be, I believe, a home run. What do you think?
I did too. I people were really not really feeling Jared Leto's portrayal of Joker. There's been mixed reviews on it. I thought it was dope.
I thought it was awesome.
I also, like we said before, so much of that movie, almost 30 minutes of his performance is left on the cutting room floor, so we don't get to know. He's very upset about what he did.
Right.
That never got saw.
Exactly.
Mostly because the studio cut that movie down. And David Ayers had an R-rated movie, and Jared Leto signed up for an R-rated movie, and it turned out to be a PG-13 music video.
Yeah.
And so the question is, and he went full method and was all crazy for 65 days or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he came out and his performance wasn't there. So all that I get. So I'm saying all that. I heard Jared Leto was like, I'm never doing one of those again.
Right.
So the question for me is will he go back method and try to go in that character for another 65 days and go crazy again? Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see he's coming back for it, but I guess the money talks.
Money talks. And I mean even DC was saying they're gonna sway away from the dark stuff and lean more towards I guess more positive and more
right.
Yeah, so I feel like in the landscape of just comic movies period, I feel like them going dark is a good thing, and I feel like him having his own movie to really explore that character in a unique way, I think is dope. And to answer your question or answer your theory, I feel like he will go back method. He will go back into that space and try to deepen that character and bring those type of tones and moods and rhythms to it. So and that's what I look forward to. I loved him in Suicide Squad. I thought he killed it.
I thought he killed it too. And frankly, Jared Leto, Oscar winner. Not for the Joker, but he's an Oscar winner, so that you want that. I mean, people love to play the Joker. It's an Oscar part.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger won the Oscar posthumously for that.
That's right.
Jack Nicholson got nominated.
That's right.
And then who's also a multiple Oscar winner, but got nominated for that role. So there's room for him to do good stuff with this.
Blast off.
So we'll see.
Even further, for sure. Well, yeah, the last joint. I never saw the Lego Movie 1. Did you?
Great movie.
Stop it. You serious?
I swear to God.
Okay.
Lord Miller.
All
It's actually a great movie.
Okay.
Marissa, right? You seen it? It's
Okay.
It's a great movie.
That's what's up. Well, hey, Lego Movie 2 is on its way. And the trailer just dropped, and it's like a homage to Mad Max, this post-apocalyptic wasteland, and it's funny. It's funny as hell.
Yeah, I have not seen the trailer.
It's
so
pretty
watch
cool.
it.
Yeah.
Watch this, but yeah, I'm all in. Are Lord Miller directing this one too?
No, they are not. But you have Chris Pratt in there doing voiceover. Elizabeth Banks.
Oh, so it's the same cast.
Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, she's new, of course.
Channing Tatum.
Yep.
Jonah Hill. Yeah.
Also, it's basically the same cast as the first one. It's
Gotcha.
all the same folks. I thought Batman like a movie was exceptionally good too.
For sure.
I thought that was good.
Yeah, I
too.
missed both of those. So you recommend I go back and see those?
The Lego movies is definitely worth watching, and Batman Lego definitely worth watching. The other joints, the Ninjaro, you can miss that one. There's another one you can miss too, but those two are really good.
So yeah, this one will be directed by Mike Mitchell.
Okay.
And his last joint was The Trolls.
Yeah. Although people like that troll movie. Yeah. I ain't watching that joint. But people actually like that movie.
Right.
Did you see The Trolls, Marissa? This song.
They had a huge song.
Can't fight the feeling.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we can't fight the villain either, and that kind of brings us to a
segue.
close. And as always, man, it's great going through these topics and talking shop about technology and popular culture.
Yep.
And we appreciate all of you out there for tuning in and listening to us.
Yep.
Where can the people find you, brother?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. Soon to be doing my hour-long video at Joe K. Braswell. Where can the people find you?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Akili Shine, AKILISHINE. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.